The Vikings take their playoff hopes to the West Coast this week, where they'll get an all-of-a-sudden very dangerous-looking Chargers squad. Predictions are in the queue, but first, enjoy a few numbers. It's a little late, but Phillip Rivers seems to have found his stride.
And going deep, and the pass, is it caught?
Are you kidding me?
Touchdown!
Rivers came up a few points short of a perfect passer rating last week, going for over 300 yards, throwing 3 TDs, not throwing any picks, and only being sacked once despite facing a Jaguars pass rush that ranked top 5 in sacks going into that game. Whether he can duplicate that kind of performance will likely hinge on a couple factors, starting with LA's ability to keep DANIELLE Hunter out of his face.
And down goes Blau in the arms of DANIELLE Hunter, who's just reached 50 sacks in his career.
Hunter had a sack hat trick last week, bringing his total to 12.5 on the season. To keep Minnesota honest, the Chargers will need their run game to continue looking like it has of late. Melvin Gordon scored, averaged 4.6 yards a carry, and Austin Eckler put up over 100 yards on the ground on just 4 carries, breaking off an 86-yarder. So what are the Vikings like against the run? Not bad. They've held teams to right around 4 yards a carry this season, which is a respectable figure. The same is true about the pass defense Rivers will be facing, which you'd also describe as respectable, though not spectacular. But the Vikings' calling card hasn't been its defense this season, it's been their offense, and more specifically, it's been Dalvin Cook.
Cook sniff in the end zone, he got there.
Cook scored again last week, though he didn't have a great game overall, and neither did his backup, Alexander Madison, neither of them able to average even 3.5 yards a carry, and both had 14 carries in that game. The Chargers are sort of like the Vikings when it comes to rush defense. Solid, but not eye-catching. How you evaluate their pass defense, though, depends on which set of stats you want to look at. On one hand, they have a passer rating of 95.4, which is not good, and have allowed the second highest completion percentage in the NFL. However, they are 4th in passing yards per game allowed, and 16th in passing yards per attempt allowed, which all means they typically are susceptible to passes of the shorter variety, while being pretty good at taking away the long stuff. Cousins and company do it all, though. They are 1st in passing yards per attempt, 3rd in completion percentage, which explains why Cousins leads the league in passer rating. So will he take what the Chargers give him and keep Minnesota rolling, or will all that SoCal heat melt their playoff hopes? Enough with all these factual numbers, it's time to look at the speculative kind.
And looking at the end zone, and it is a touchdown for Johnson, his 3rd of the year.